Hi, I'm Vicky Allan.
And I'm Deacon.
And we are the authors of two books, Taking the Plunge, which is all about wild swimming, and also For the Love of Trees, which is about trees. And both are really about immersing yourself in nature in some way. Both of us have probably been wild swimming in some way for all of our lives, we've always loved a dip in some cold water in the sea or a loch or a river.
Lots of people ask what you need to get started in wild swimming, and we don't think you need anything to get started. You don't even really need a swimsuit. You can just jump in the nude if you feel so inclined. However, as it gets colder, you definitely need to think about safety and perhaps a bit more equipment. When we go swimming, we tend to just wear a swimsuit, maybe a hat. I wear neoprene gloves and socks. Sometimes you do, but not always, right?
Yeah, I wore them yesterday, but not today.
So that just means that your hands stay warmer, your feet stay warmer, because they are the things that get the coldest the quickest. So I'm just going to give you a little run through of some of the stuff that I take, and I don't take all of this on every swim, but it's just to show you what is usually in my kit bag. So start over here. So regular towel, and I have a microfiber towel that I usually stand on. Little swim hat. I don't wear them often, but they are pretty handy, especially as an extra layer to keep you warm, keep you safe when you're, keep you visible to passing boats and things like that. I have some lovely second-hand Ugg boots, the ugliest shoes in the world, but they are really good after a swim because there's no laces or anything to have to deal with. My puppy loves them. They're usually found in her bed, so they are a bit stinky, but yeah, they're really great after a swim. These were last year's Christmas present. Game changer. 7 mils, so they are seriously cozy, and really great when you're going on more of an adventurous swim because you can walk over kind of big rocks, and they're quite good for waterfalls and stuff like that, so you've got quite a decent grip. These gloves, I have no idea where they came from. I don't think I bought them. I think they might be someone else's. They've ended up in my bag, but yeah, just normally always wear 3 mils in the winter. Get Reynards in my hands, so I find the gloves pretty essential. Got my lovely Selkie hoodie for afterwards. So I always take a long-bodied vest top, just an old one, after a swim because they're so handy to just step right into under your robe. So that everything's kind of covered up, so you're not having to do so much of a shimmy to get dry. I've got these Sherpa-lined trousers. Everything is covered in sand, so please excuse this from my last swim. It's pretty hard to get rid of all the sand. Just a little compression bag that I pop everything into afterwards before I dry it out. Always take a hot chocolate in one of these flasks that lasts for I think about 12 hours or something, so you can make it well in advance. And then I also take one with sort of hand hot water, so that when I come out of the sea, I can just give my feet a douse in hot water, which really helps them to warm up a bit and gets the sand off. Always take an extra puffer with me, so many layers. This is pretty good for putting your phone in if you want to take pictures. I haven't really tried it that much, but I'm going to give it a try on my swim this afternoon to see how we get on. I've got a lovely, really recommend Deacon and Blue swimwear company. Brilliant for curvy ladies. They offer great support and they're cut beautifully. I always feel nice when I wear this. It's like a little bit of glamour on a swim. So it has got long sleeves. They're mesh. They don't really offer much warmth, but it feels quite nice to have my arms covered anyway. Maybe it's a psychological thing. All made from old ocean plastic, so that's great. Always take at least one extra pair of socks. The warmer, thicker, the better. Old cashmere jumper. think that was also from a second-hand shop. That's also lovely straight onto skin. Keeps you really cozy, and just put your layers on over the top of that. Bobble hat, and these gloves are brilliant because I can have my hands free, especially if I'm taking photos. I can still operate my camera, but inside it's all lined with Sherpa fleece, which is so cozy, and then I can just pop the top over again afterwards. Lovely. Good old dry robe. This is one of the new colours and I absolutely love it. It's the best thing ever in the winter. And then I've got these boots, which I'd more likely take when I'm going on a bit more of an adventurous swim. They're super grippy, very warm, but because I'm such a cold person, I got extra layer of sheepskin insoles to keep me even more cozy. So that is it. I certainly won't take all of that on every swim, but yeah, there you go. Hopefully that might help you decide what you want to get for your next swim.
Of course, there's lots of places you can go, the sea, the rivers, the lochs, but the key thing is to find a safe place when you're doing it, particularly for the first time, but anyway. And one of the ways you can do that is to join a swimming group, a local swimming group, and there's a lot of these on social media, on Facebook, other places as well.
Yeah, lots of Instagram groups as well. But it's really important that you go with someone who knows the water, who knows where there might be submerged rocks, or there might be a tide, a dangerous tide, there might be rip currents, there might be, the rivers can be fine one day and very dangerous the next if they're in spate. So it's really important that you know what you're getting into, that you've got a safe entry and exit point, that you've really researched the area, you're going with someone who's been before. Any body of water can be dangerous, and especially if you're going in the winter. So it's absolutely vital that you make sure that you're in a safe situation before you get in. And the best way to do that is using local knowledge. How do we get in the water? Well, I think the best way for me is just to start walking and not stop, because as soon as you stop and start thinking about it, especially in the winter, then you might think, what am I doing, and get straight back out again. But I think if you walk in slowly but surely, not too slow, because you want to keep your swims short in the winter anyway. Certainly don't go jumping in, because that's pretty dangerous at any time of year in this temperatures, because you can get cold water shock, which you definitely don't want.
I also find maybe a little bit of noise helps when you're going in, a little bit of shouting and yelping, always.
Swearing.
Yeah. And I like to flap my hands and arms around a bit just to get used to the coldness.
So here we are, watching out for the... Woo!
And what temperature do we think it is?
I think it's about 6 or 7 just now.
That's what I heard.
Ooh. Quite wavy, although they seem to have calmed down a bit now.
Just getting used to it. Anna and I are really more dippers than full-on sporty swimmers.
Oh, definitely.
We just like to get in, put on a float around,
A little chat, some hot chocolate afterwards.
right in the water.
I think sunset and sunrise swims are definitely my favourite. Ooh, ooh, ooh. In terms of how long you should stay in, it really is about knowing your own body and how you're coping with the temperatures. We think it's really quite dangerous to talk about time in the water, because a lot of people might try and measure up to someone who's been swimming for years and are completely adapted to the cold water. So the best thing is to take it really slowly, keep your swims short, see how you feel. I mean, literally a couple of minutes can be enough just to get that amazing feeling of euphoria after your swim. You don't need to stay in for long. I quite often have a super short swim, or even just a get my shoulders under, do 10 strokes and I'm out. Depends how I'm feeling. But you definitely don't need to stay in long, and certainly in the winter you need to really be conscious of how your body's feeling. Sometimes when you feel the best, that's the time you need to get out, because that can be a sign of hypothermia kicking in. So you need to be extremely careful and conscious and really listen to your body.
The other thing is also you need to think about how warm you are when you get out, and warming up is the really important thing. So you can feel amazing as you come out of the water and think you could just stand there in your swimming costume for half an hour and not get ready. But actually, this is where you need to get changed really quickly and get a nice hot drink down you. This is one of the key things. And move around as well. I always advise a bit of moving around just to get the warmth coming inside you.
Your body temperature can drop 20 minutes after your swim, which is called after drop. And actually you might feel fine when you're in the water, but 20 minutes later you can be really in trouble. So this is why you need to always get out before you think you're ready to get out, so that you've got time for your body to adjust. And as Vicky says, you need to get dressed and warm and dry and then get a hot drink as quickly as you possibly can after a swim. Lovely hot chocolate for my post-swim warm-up.
One of the things that you'll hear a lot of swimmers talk about is the euphoria you get when you've been cold water swimming. And certainly that is something that I get, and I actually feel like I get it almost every time. I'm a bit disappointed if I don't get it. But I also like to think of getting in the water as a bit of a journey, because it's not easy. It's not easy for Anna and I to get in that water. We always get that slight nervousness, that feeling that it's going to be painful, and it is a bit painful. So, but it's this amazing journey. You step into that water, it kind of bites at you. It's like a vice sometimes, and you feel like, oh, I don't really want to be here. But then a few minutes later, you're the other side of it, and you're looking around and feeling just marvelous, just like the whole world has almost changed in a moment.